We see Rome as the pinnacle of civilization, gleaming marble, roaring crowds, and emperors forged in legend. But beneath the glory, a rot was spreading. What happens when the most powerful man in the world, a celebrated general, decides to vanish from the public eye? What happens when he turns a paradise island into his personal kingdom of fear and depravity? A place from which whispers escaped, but few people ever returned. This is the story of Tiberius and the secrets buried on the island of Capri. Before the darkness, there was the hero. Tiberius was one of Rome's greatest military commanders. He was disciplined, respected, but deeply embittered by family tragedies and the cynical politics of Augustus's court. When he finally became emperor, he was already a man shrouded in suspicion. And so he left Rome. He retreated to Capri, a stunningly beautiful island off the coast of Italy. But this wasn't a retirement. It was the creation of a gilded cage. From his clifftop villas, Tiberius ruled the vast Roman Empire through letters and fear. But what he did on that island became the stuff of nightmares. Ancient historians like Suetonius paint a chilling picture. He surrounded himself with so-called inventors of unnatural pleasures, the Spintriae, who devised depravities beyond imagination. The island wasn't just a den of lust. It was a theater of cruelty. Those who displeased the emperor were not simply executed. They were taken to the edge of a cliff, a place later known as Tiberius's Leap, and hurled into the churning sea below, where marines waited in boats to beat the broken bodies with oars, ensuring no one survived. The ultimate secret of Capri wasn't just the debauchery, it was the paranoia. Tiberius built a fortress of isolation, trusting no one. He communicated through complex signals. His villas were labyrinths, and any fisherman who accidentally landed on his shores was tortured. He had transformed paradise into a high-security prison, where he was both the warden and the chief prisoner. He ruled the known world from a self-imposed hell, his mind a twisted maze of power, fear, and resentment. When he finally died, Rome rejoiced. But the secrets of Capri, they remained, haunting the beautiful island like ghosts, a dark precedent for the emperors who would follow. And believe me, what followed was even worse. Tiberius ruled from a prison of his own making. But what if the next emperor believed he wasn't a man at all? Imagine an emperor who declared himself a living god, who conversed with the moon, and whose most trusted political advisor was his horse. This isn't mythology. This was the terrifying reality of Caligula. Gaius Caesar, nicknamed Caligula or Little Boot, began as a beacon of hope. He was the son of the beloved General Germanicus, and upon taking power, he freed unjust prisoners and abolished Tiberius's treason trials. The people adored him. Then, a few months into his reign, he fell gravely ill. He recovered, but the man who emerged was different. He began to insist he was a living deity. He built temples to himself and replaced the heads of statues of gods like Jupiter with his own. He would engage in long, rambling conversations with a statue of Jupiter, sometimes threatening it, sometimes inviting it to live with him. He even built a 2-mile-long floating bridge across the Bay of Baiae for no other reason than to ride across it on his horse, wearing the armor of Alexander the Great, to prove he could triumph over the sea god Neptune. And then there was Incitatus, his horse. The stories say he planned to make the horse a consul, the highest office in Rome. Was this madness, or something more sinister? It was the ultimate act of contempt. It was Caligula telling the powerful senators of Rome, "My horse is more worthy of your office than any of you." He forced senators to run alongside his chariot for miles and made them kiss his feet. The great secret of Caligula's reign is a terrifying political truth. Absolute power, unchecked, is a form of insanity. He revealed that the entire structure of the Roman Empire could be held hostage by the delusions of one man. There was no one to stop him. For 4 years, Rome wasn't ruled by a man, but by a whim, a deadly, unpredictable whim. But even gods can bleed. The Praetorian Guard, the very men sworn to protect him, grew tired of the humiliation and terror. In a dark palace corridor, they cornered him. The living god was stabbed over 30 times. His secret wasn't buried on an island. It was written in blood on the palace floor, the secret that power without limits will inevitably destroy itself. We've seen paranoia and madness. But what if the darkest secret of all was hidden in plain sight, disguised as an act of generosity? In the year 212 AD, Emperor Caracalla issued a decree that changed the world. The Antonine Constitution, granting Roman citizenship to nearly all free men in the empire. A landmark of equality, right? But what if this grand gift was nothing more than a cover-up? A way to pay for the most unforgivable crime a man can commit. The murder of his own brother in their mother's arms. Caracalla and his younger brother, Geta, hated each other. Their father, Septimius Severus, made them joint emperors on his deathbed, hoping they would rule together. It was a fatal mistake. The palace was divided. Plots were hatched daily. Their own mother, Julia Domna, desperately tried to reconcile them. She arranged a meeting in her private apartments, begging them to find peace. It was a trap. Caracalla's centurions burst into the room. Geta, seeing the blades, ran to his mother and clung to her for protection. It didn't matter. He was stabbed to death right there, in her arms, his blood soaking her clothes. Caracalla's first act after the murder was to run to the Praetorian camp, claiming his life had been in danger. He secured their loyalty with an enormous bribe. Then, he unleashed a wave of terror, executing 20,000 of Geta's supposed supporters. He ordered a damnatio memoriae, the complete erasure of Geta's name and image from history. But he had a problem, a huge problem. The army's loyalty came at a price he couldn't afford. He needed money, fast. And that is the secret behind his famous edict. The Antonine Constitution wasn't about liberty or equality. It was about taxes. Before, only citizens paid certain inheritance and emancipation taxes. By making everyone a citizen, Caracalla instantly created millions of new taxpayers. It was the most cynical cash grab in history. He didn't give the world a gift. He handed it a bill. A bill for his brother's blood. Tiberius's paranoia, Caligula's delusion, Caracalla's cold-blooded ambition. These weren't just the secrets of madmen. They were secrets of power itself, the things it demands, the monsters it creates, and the truths it buries. History is not just a collection of dates and victories. It is a mausoleum of secrets, a palace of whispers. The marble statues stand clean. The history books are written by the victors, but the truth lingers in the shadows, waiting for those who dare to look. The emperors are long dead, their bodies turned to dust, but their secrets are immortal. If you believe that history is far more thrilling and terrifying than what we're told in school, then join our quest to unearth it. Subscribe for more secrets from the past, hit the like button if we've opened your eyes, and in the comments below, tell us, which historical figure's secrets should we expose next?